This video is brought to you by the Media.
Hi, welcome to a new episode. Last week we talked about the non-governmental organization that working in Africa about their agenda. Many of them we found that they were not just for helping Africans in general as their purpose. If you haven't yet watched the video, please go ahead and watch our recent video on this channel. Today, we're looking at the shocking story of Arche de Zoé, a French organization that, in 2007, was caught trying to fly over 200 children out of Chad to France. Were they really trying to help, or was there something else going on? Let's dig into the details. Arche de Zoé was a French organization whose goal was to provide humanitarian aid to orphaned children. But in October 2007, Chadian authorities stopped them just as they were about to load 200 children onto a plane bound for Europe. Authorities discovered that many of these children had families and were not orphans. This led to a huge scandal, with the main members of Arche de Zoé being sentenced to forced labor in Chad for attempted kidnapping of minors, as well as forgery and other charges. At the end of October 2007, 9 French nationals and 7 Spaniards associated with the group Arche de Zoé were charged in Chad with the kidnapping of over 200 children and fraud. Aimed at rescuing orphans from war-torn Darfur, the organization soon faced allegations that many of these children, 85% in fact, were not orphans at all, with most having at least one living parent, and many of their paperwork was fraud. Following the charges, Belgian pilot Jacques Wilmart, who had transported the children from the Chad-Sudan border, was also arrested. By November 3, then French President Nicolas Sarkozy intervened, visiting Chad and negotiating the release of 3 French journalists and 4 Spanish hostesses. They returned to Europe on Sarkozy's plane, but the case was far from over. In December 2007, the trial began. 6 French nationals faced attempted kidnapping charges, potentially facing severe sentences. The Chadian court ultimately sentenced them to 8 years of forced labor and a joint financial penalty of over €6 million. Just days later, they were transferred to France to serve their sentences under a France-Chad extradition agreement. In 2008, amid Chad's civil conflict, French forces aided President Idriss Déby. Shortly after, Déby issued a presidential pardon, releasing the detained members of Arche de Zoé. Yet the legal saga didn't end there. By 2010, several members, including the group's leader Rick Breteau, his partner, Miley Lelouch, were sentenced to 2 years in prison and fined €50,000 each. The court also dissolved the organization. This entire incident became a symbol of the mistrust some African countries feel towards foreign NGOs. In 2012, the story took another twist as the French courts began their own trial. Arche de Zoé's president, Rick Breteau, and his partner, Miley Lelouch, were sentenced to 2 years in prison and fined €50,000 each. The association itself was fined €100,000 and was officially dissolved. Other members of the organization received suspended sentences. The Arche de Zoé incident showed how some NGOs, even with good intentions, can harm local communities if they lack respect and understanding. For Chad, this wasn't just a scandal, it was a lesson on the importance of protecting their people. The Arche de Zoé incident showed us how some NGOs, even with good intentions, can harm local communities if they lack respect and understanding. For Chad, this wasn't just a scandal, it was a lesson on the importance of protecting their people. So, what can we learn from this? Not all organizations have the right intentions, even if they say they're here to help. Thanks for watching this episode. If you found this story eye-opening, hit the subscribe button and give us a like. Scan the QR code on your screen to support our channel. See you in the next episode.